Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. So a lot of people don't understand. The hell. Okay, remember that Satanists are changing my voice because they're trying to. Okay, remember that Satanists are changing my voice because they're trying to make a white supremacy society, a Jewish supremacy society, and an LGBT supremacy society. And it's sad that I have to kind of stop and make these intros for my videos before I start the video. You know, they have no care for anything. They hate their families. They hate themselves. What happens when you screen out the most righteous person that ever lived without him having a family, raising a child himself? You've removed true love from that society, especially under these circumstances. That is how you remove it. Do people who love their families remove true love from society? Do they try to get Christ to assimilate? That's not a path where love can come through. The only way true love can come into the human race is if you give Christ his rightful place. And I'm Christ. So when we look at, for example, there's a song, and I don't have a high opinion of celebrities, but these songs help you understand. They help you understand things a little bit, when you're young, what have you. So it was a Boys to Men song, right? It's even called Boys to Men, right? What does it mean to be a man, right? Ver and virtue means man. And if you really love somebody, you bring them to God in the divine order. You don't bring them to church. The churches aren't doing the right thing. Who doesn't know that? You bring them to me. And you have them obey God through me, and you obey God through me if you really love someone. So in that song, it says the biggest mistake, right? Mistake, right? Female, take. The biggest mistake, right? The biggest mistake, and mist, Babylon mystery. The biggest mistake of their lives is not embracing true love, not having true love. That is what they say in that song. They say, don't wait till the water runs dry. So whose hands have gathered up the wind? Who has wrapped up the waters in a cloak? What are the waters, right? They represent the Spirit. God is love. God is a warrior. God is the Spirit of true justice, true righteousness. The essence of all the true monotheistic martial art principles in their true form. Reminds me also of this Alicia Keys song. I'm going to be interrupted here quickly, so let me say this quickly here. She has a song where it says, some people want it all, right? And that she doesn't want anything at all. She doesn't want anything at all if it isn't the person she's in love with. Now, obviously, when people are outside the divine order, they're in a state of illusion, right? You have CIA in the word Alicia. See, CIA, scrambled. CIA. L is an illness. Okay, so she's in a kind of an L zone, right? Her soul's on fire. One of her songs is This Girl, the title of the song is, quote unquote, This Girl's on Fire. And it's pretty straightforward what it's saying when you look at it in terms of it's some kind of code revealing the reality of her situation, that her soul is on fire. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't remember if I'm right about this last part here, where it says that, where if I remember correctly, that she married someone named Dragon from the Rough Riders. Dragon, right? Dragon. And her soul is on fire. So what is a woman's worth? Well, a true woman doesn't have a soul that's on fire. No offense to anybody other than the offense that God intended. So what is the biggest mistake of someone's life, of a couple's life, of a person's life? It's missing out on true love from God. And the two will leave their families and become one flesh, one presence. The presence of the couple carries over into the afterlife. So what is starting a quarrel with God to the extreme? When you allow for the possibility for all forms of pleasure, especially true love, is when you interfere with the romantic cycle. The moral, mental, spiritual, and romantic cycle of God's Son, me. And you do so with the full intention of trying to replace me or control the planet or what have you. Some kind of psychotic Freemasons thinking that they should self-direct. The European governing class, American governing class, Jewish governing class, LGBT governing class, token minorities. And when the water runs dry, you see the burning lake of sulfur, the burning lake of fire. As these mockers, they say, let's put words in his mouth. Do you really think that insignificant, nerdy worms like you could say it better than the top martial artist ever possible? So yeah, I'm not saying as well as I otherwise would. But what is the opposite of saying it better than anyone ever possibly could? It's being some kind of New World Order worm given the orders to have someone interfere with the process and try to take credit. Or being those idiots who interfere. That is the exact opposite of giving a divine speech. That's the greatest speech ever.